So you're sick of driving that beat-up car that you get at the beginning of Cyberpunk 2077, but you also don't want to spend all of your hard-earned cash at the beginning of the game to unlock some of the nicer vehicles that you can get throughout your gameplay of Cyberpunk 2077. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you how to get any car in the game for free, and you won't even have to have high perk skills to be able to do this. There's a pretty simple way to be able to achieve this. We're also going to be going over the car locations to get specific vehicles and a way that you can learn to find these vehicles for yourself if you decide you want to find some other types of vehicles throughout your gameplay. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for all your Cyberpunk 2077 needs, because I will be covering all of the tips and tricks that you'll need to make your Cyberpunk 2077 life complete. There's actually one of the vehicles that I was looking for, I believe. It kind of looks like a Challenger. Now, as I mentioned, you will be playing through Cyberpunk 2077. You'll unlock quests to buy vehicles, but you don't want to spend your money, right? You don't want to spend your money, and you don't want to spend your skill points to be able to get cars specifically, because you might want to work on different builds at the beginning of the game. Now, when you approach any of these vehicles out in the wild, you're going to see here that it says take control, and we need more body to be able to do this. We only have 4 out of the 8 required. And you're like, oh, well, I can't steal that car. Now, you will find lots and lots of cars just parked around, and oftentimes when you approach them, you'll be able to break in. You're going to see that this requires a level of technical skill. Some of the cars are going to have a lower technical skill, so you might be able to break into them right at the beginning of the game. Other ones will have a higher one, like that one is 4, this one's 6. Some of them will be 8 or higher. The higher quality the car is, the more skill that will be required to actually break in. Well, let me tell you. You can. All you got to do is just shoot them. They're either going to die or they're going to get out of the car. And all you need to do is just get in. Now, this will often get the police after you. But thankfully, the police in this game are just absolutely horrible. And all you need to do is often just go like right around the corner and you'll be able to escape. God, this car is unwieldy. Sweet baby Jesus. But yeah, the cops in this game are extremely easy to get away from as long as you don't get like 4 or 5 stars or something like that. And you can literally just take any car in the game extremely easily. Now, the location we're at right now is going to have some really high quality vehicles for you to be able to get. Obviously, you'll be able to find these muscle cars here, but on the area on the map that we're in, it's kind of like a high roller area. It's like the hills or something like that. So if you zoom out, you can see here that we're in Westbrook, but we're on the eastern edge of Westbrook, where the roads kind of wind up this mountain here. You're going to find really high quality vehicles here. But you also might be wondering, well, how do I get specific types? If you zoom all the way on your map, you can see where gangs hide out in specific areas. So we've got the Mox and the Tiger Claws here. We've got the 6th Street Gang here. We've got the Voodoo Boys and Animals, and each of these gangs will have their own vehicle types, motorcycles, and stuff like that. So we're going to show off a couple of these locations to get some of these higher quality vehicles in this video. Now, at some point in time, you'll also come across these cars that are very clearly armored, and you'll probably be like, oh, I don't think I'm going to shoot through that. You can't shoot through it, but they get right out. Kind of ridiculous. But, yeah. You can shoot right through, or not right through the glass, but when you shoot, the driver will get out. And then wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You got yourself one of the nicest cars in the game. And this works literally for everything, to include people that are just oh, that car's in the ground, riding around on their motorcycles. Now, if you do want to get cars that are more Badlandish, obviously you're going to have to go to the Badlands to acquire them. Now, you might find yourself wanting specific gang vehicles, and you can acquire these relatively easily. And there's a couple ways of going about doing this. One of them is to check your map, and as we mentioned before, when you zoom out, you'll be able to see what gangs are in each area. So say you want to acquire like a Tiger Claws or one of the Mox vehicles or motorcycles, then you need to go to this location, and what you can do is you just look for these assault in progress areas. All of these will have an assault in progress, but oftentimes what's going to happen is those gang members will have their vehicles around. Now, these vehicles will be able to just be picked up and stolen. Now, not every single one of these will have a vehicle, but most of them will. And all we just need to do is just head into this particular area, take out the people here. Looks like we got a nice vehicle there already. Ooh, this one did quite a bit of damage to me. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Ooh. We got a nice perk. We got an epic quality perk. Now that car we can't actually steal, but oftentimes there'll be good items around here. But we got their motorcycles here. Now these motorcycles are super duper quick and a little unwieldy, but if you're looking for things like that or gang specific vehicles, this is going to be one of the best ways to get it. And all you got to do is literally just get on it and wham bam, thank you ma'am, you got yourself a new ride. Now, if you are looking to get a car legitimately and actually own it, throughout the game, you're going to be able to access these rides that you can buy. If you go into your journal and you scroll all the way down, you're going to see gigs and then you see rides here. Now, they do cost quite a bit of money, so we got 21,000 there, 16,000 there, 19,000. They are pretty expensive, especially when you first start out. But as you progress through the game, you're going to unlock more of those quest lines to be able to buy vehicles. And if you have the extra dough lying around, then you might be better off just doing that as well. Now, also, I will be releasing money guides. Now, if anybody does find any interesting things in the game that they want to share with me, feel free to reach out to me on Discord and Twitter, and I will credit you in the videos with any tips that are provided for money making, where items are, or anything of interest in Cyberpunk 2077. So it is a very straightforward process for acquiring vehicles. As long as you know the location for the vehicle type that you want, it's very easy to get one. If you want a high-end vehicle, you're going to need to go to the rich areas. If you kind of want a slummy vehicle, you go into the slums. And obviously, if you want the Badlands ones, you're going to need to go into the Badlands for those. Now, the only downside to this is you can't actually own these vehicles. And by that I mean you won't be able to actually summon it. You do have a menu where you can summon any of your owned vehicles. To do that, you need to actually purchase the vehicles. So if you steal a vehicle like this, you won't be able to own it and summon it, but you will be able to use it as long as you want. Basically, when you go into missions and stuff like that, your vehicle will remain there. All you need to do is just not abandon it, and you'll be able to continue using those vehicles for as long as you want. This thing looks like it's made out of gold, and it's beautiful. Sweet baby Jesus. But yeah, you won't be able to put them into a garage or anything. You won't be able to own them. But yeah, as long as you don't just completely abandon it and move across the map, then you'll be able to use it for literally as long as you want. But I do hope you all enjoyed today's episode. We will be covering tons of information for Cyberpunk 2077. I will have some video locations for legendary weapons and legendary armor as well, so definitely keep an eye out on the channel for all of that future content. We seem to have arrived in the Thunderdome here, and we need to get the hell out of Dodge.